All right, so I got to show you guys how to identify a feature story so that you can do the NPR reflections. Okay, and where is it? So this was the simplest way I could illustrate to you guys the difference between, say, a hard news story and a feature story. Can you guys still see my screen? Am I still sharing it with you? Okay, so there's two major stories on this page, right? Ignore the stuff on the bottom right-hand side. So which of them is the hard news story and which of them is the feature story? Easy question. Alicia, you got any idea which is the hard news? There's two articles. Which one's hard news and which is feature?
The featured one is the second one.
The what?
The second one.
Yeah, the one that has the headline "Treasured Memories."
Yeah.
Yeah, and "Man with the Knife" is the hard news, right? So if I pull up for you guys, if I say every week, let's try it with the New York Times page. Let's do it with print before we do it with anything else. So I'm going to pull up the New York Times page. Okay, now this is the opinion, so ignore this. But does anyone see a feature here? Ignore this because this is opinion. A donut.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Zach.
I was going to say, would it possibly be the High Hopes for College?
Yes.
One?
You guys see that? If we keep going down, let's do one more, and then I'll pull up the NPR site. This one probably is, although maybe not. This is first person. I don't know. Sometimes the New York Times page is full. Okay. You guys see any features here? Dobbs, you got anything?
Sorry?
Can you on the page, can you see the page? Can you identify a feature?
A feature?
Yeah, a feature story.
Is voting twice a felony? Is that a feature?
Yeah, I mean, that could be some kind of like news analysis. There's a lot of like weird varieties of news in the world we live in now. But how about this one? When otters vanished, everything else started to crumble. You see why that's a feature?
Oh, yeah.
So what I'm asking you guys to do with the NPR reflection is to go to npr.org, right? And I'll post maybe I'll try and edit down this video into pieces so that I can put them up so that you guys can quickly go to the instructions or us talking about it for each one. But to do the NPR reflection, right? You're doing your regular reflection. So every week you do a reflection. But I want you to do 3 reflections between now and the end of September that we'll call the NPR reflections. And that is, I want you guys to look at a story, and then I've posted on your syllabus instructions for what to write for your NPR one. But these are the two news programs, Morning Edition and All Things Considered, okay? And what I want you guys to do is go to one of them, like All Things Considered, and then find me an audio feature. Like this might be one. We'd have to listen to it to see. This is one, okay? This is a long one, but it is one. See if we can find another one. Okay, well, this one might be. Let's take a listen to it.
Support for NPR and the following message come from the House of Roll, whose Shaw's luxury sinks are handcrafted by certified craftsmen in England's Lancashire Hills. Hit the play button below to learn about the craft and process behind each of these unique sinks.
The western U.S. is now choking on smoke and ash from 100 large wildfires. Scientists say these fires are fueled in part by forests cluttered with extremely dry brush and dead trees. So with so much of the West burning, could today's wildfires help clear out dangerously flammable forests and essentially hit the reset button to guard against future fires? Capital Public Radio's Ezra David Romero has been asking scientists and forest managers that question, and he's here now with some answers. Ezra, welcome.
Hey.
Okay, so that's a Q&A. So she's going to go interview. So that is not a feature, right? But that was the host of the show setting up a Q&A. Let's try, I don't know. Let's see if they've got one here. This might be one.
America's wildland firefighting resources are maxed out. 5 million acres of land have already burned this year, mostly in the West. And there are 85 major wildfires currently burning out of control. So federal fire officials are calling in the U.S. military and looking for international help now. For more on all of this, we're joined now by NPR's Kirk Sigler, who's in Boise, Idaho. Hey, Kirk.
Hello, Elsa.
So I understand that you are...
They're doing a lot of Q&A. So let's look on the previous day. So that's unusual, but it's All Things Considered is an afternoon show, so they don't have their roster of stories up yet, which is why when I look at this one, so we have to go to archive. We look at, let's see. This is from the 10th, so let's look at this one. This one might be, let's see.
The 2011 earthquake and tsunami in Japan changed the country in many ways. Thousands died, many more are still missing, and the resulting nuclear disaster in Fukushima left parts of the country uninhabitable. It also put much of Japan's nuclear power industry on hold and left one of the world's top energy consumers struggling to find a new way forward. NPR's Kat Lonsdorf went to Fukushima, and today she examines how the disaster affected energy in Japan.
Okay, so what you just heard is the host introducing a feature story. And you hear right away, you don't hear the woman's voice first, you hear what's called natural sound. That sound that the reporter picked up to give atmosphere to the story, right? So now she's going to start to narrate the story, and it's a feature.
Kazuo Okawa trudges along a seaside cliff on the edge of Fukushima Prefecture in northern Japan.
And you hear the way she starts with a person describing. She doesn't start with hard news, right? She starts with telling us a story. So that's the kind of thing you guys are looking for, right? Let's just listen to the first few seconds of it.
It's early March, and huge waves crash on the rocks below. It isn't hard to picture what happened here roughly 9 years ago.
Tsunami, yeah. So you guys see the way she builds atmosphere, she uses storytelling. So that's the type of story I want you guys to find for your 3 NPR reflections. Do you guys think you can pick those out from all this other type of stuff that's going on here? So if you want to reach out to me and ask, is this a feature? Go ahead and do it. But the features, when you hear them, are going to be really clear in that sense, right? Like this is probably also a feature.
Downtown living in cities like Chicago has offered short commutes and bustling culture. But amid a pandemic and social unrest, people are rethinking city life. Monica Ang of member station WBEZ reports.
In recent decades, home seekers have flocked to downtown Chicago. Since the 80s, the residential population there has ballooned nearly six-fold, and it's made Chicago's downtown.
So she's taken a slightly different storytelling approach, but do you guys hear the way that this is going to be a feature? Right? It's clearly not hard news. So, okay, so I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that. Does anyone have any questions about it? Is anyone confused about it at all?